Alright, so for part 2, we need 2 balls of white gum paste, really, really tiny balls, and roll it into a teardrop shape. And then here I'm just using Tylose glue. It's an edible kind of glue that we use to stick fondant and gum paste together. And it's done by mixing 1 part of Tylose powder with 30 parts of water. So if you use 1 teaspoon of this to 30 teaspoons of water, put it in a container and leave it overnight. So here we got small teardrop shaped gum paste. Kind of press it to flatten it. Alright, now as we make it, I wanted to check the figures. So in the figures, the bottom looks a lot bigger. And most of the eyes would be covered by the black part. So when I get asked, how do you make this, how do you make this, I gotta tell you, I can't show each and every tutorial that is asked of me, just because it takes an enormous amount of time for me to do it. I don't have the luxury of time right now. So anyway, going back to this figure, still looks weird kinda, but let's go ahead and paint on the eyes. Now again, go back and look at a figure. When I work with something, I always have a picture of it next to what I'm working on. The kind of brush that I use is the smallest one you can find, the cheapest one you can find, that's fine. It doesn't have to be a branded brush, but this one is size 0. So as with a figure, look at it again as you go and paint on the eye. Just cover a good area, say 3/4. I'm gonna change my brush. I mean, I gotta buy a new one. Alright. You guys have an idea. I mean, it's forming right in front of you, the look that we're looking for. Alright. And they have a couple of eyelashes. Couple, literally 2. So, like 2 really tiny ones. You guys can see, right? Alright. Now since we are working at a faster pace right now, the gum paste has not set, so every time I touch it, it kind of changes its shape. It's better that you guys have a flower forming cup for this, or you could just manipulate the shape again as you go. Now it depends on how comfortable you are. Now for this one, we're just going to need a couple more things. So if we're going to make this look a little surprised like her, we just need a little circle in the middle. You see that? Can you see? Alright. And then we're going to add 2 small white dots to the eye. Like really tiny white dots. Super tiny. Alright. And we're going to put that at the very top part of the eye. Oh man, it's too small. You see it? Alright, now if you want to have a little bit of color to the sides, you can use petal dust. Now I've been asked just recently what brand do I use. I use some CK brand, and this is sunflower sugar art brand. For petal dust, you just use a teeny tiny bit, like a very, very light dusting. Like literally you don't even have to pour anything, just dab your brush and kind of paint it on there very lightly. Now petal dust is not it's not a strong kind of dust, so you can literally paint it on very lightly. So I'm hoping you guys can see. Alright, there you go. Whoa. This is the Precious Moments face. I hope you guys like the tutorial, and I would love to see your take on it. You could make them smile and change the look. And thank you so much for waiting for this tutorial, and I await your comments. Thanks, and you have a great day.